That's how I look at it when I was fighting these fires. It's like, hey, somebody's house is right there. You know, like there's this guy. He's like, can you guys help us out? And he's all like, yeah. I was like, oh, is this your house? No, he's like, nope, that's my house. His house was like demolished, like burned. I've never seen like that was like the worst I've ever seen in my life. Like people's like, damn, like their whole life savings, like everything, just destroyed in one day. You know, that shit was sad. Like, you know, people lost everything, and it's like, wow.
So what's your name?
Donnie Monreal,
Where you from?
Santa Clarita,
How old are you?
40.
Okay. How long you been down?
I'm gonna be going close to a year already now. When I'm done with my term, I'll be down 13 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, have you been in prison before? Or?
No, this is my first time.
Okay.
My first time.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, what are you down for?
Stupid decisions in life. I mean, that's all I could say. I mean, I could go. The list goes on, but in reality, it's just stupid mistakes that I made that I shouldn't have done. You know, like just wrong place at the wrong time, wrong people hanging out with wrong people. Just just putting myself around negativity. You know, that's what got me in here. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, what made you want to come to fire camp? Was this a choice or?
You know, to tell you the truth, the reason when I was gonna get sentenced, I actually asked the courts to come to fire camp because I noticed that throughout my lifespan of running in with the law or doing the wrong thing, I've always been doing the same shit. Like it's a pattern, you know. So I kind of like before I got locked up, I was doing research on fire camp, and I had already made my decision up that I wanted to do something, change the wheels around a little bit, and somebody smart once told me that in order to change your mindset, you got to change the way you go about things. Like you got to change everything. Like it's a whole 360. It's not just the way you think. It's more than that. It's like you got to put everything into play. You got to change your mindset, the way that you act. Just everything. If you want to truly succeed and be a better person, and change to be, because you can change, but you gotta, it's like they say, like you got, there's no such thing as 50%. You got to give it 100 always. If you really want to change, you got to give it 100. And yeah, but that's pretty much, how I view things right now.
Do you feel like you're a different person since you?
Honestly, to tell you the truth, yeah, actually, I do. The way that I always, my biggest issue in life was that I always took things for granted. Like when you got something good and you take it for granted, because you got that, right? But so I was, the one thing that I didn't have, I wasn't humble, and this program actually taught me how to be humble, and appreciate life, pretty much. So yeah, I mean, I have changed but it's a process. It's not, you're not going to change overnight, it's just day by day,
Absolutely.
you change.
Absolutely. So how do you feel now that you're protecting a society that, all too often throws away people who make mistakes?
To tell you the truth, it makes me feel good. My first out of county was Palisades Fire, and it felt good, when we're going through communities and stuff, and people are cheering for us, and like the cool thing is that our CCVs don't have Department of Corrections, so when people see our CCVs, they look at us as like we're firefighters, like we're like the paid crews, so like it feels good that for once you're changing. Instead of doing bad, you're doing something good. You're doing something good for society instead of messing it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you feel like you're repaying a debt.
I'm repaying my debt. Like, I mean, because in reality, when I got locked up, I really didn't understand. Like it took me a while to sink in and to really to take it all in and understand that there's repercussions for your actions always, no matter what, And so I was really hard on accepting that, but throughout my sentence, I started to appreciate people that I threw out of my life for drugs or whatnot. Like whatever I did wrong, I feel like. Sorry,
it's okay, bro. Take your time.
I feel like I'm a better person. Like.
Take your time, brother.
Like, I feel like I'm doing something good. I just got tired of waking up every day and being miserable. That's really what I was. I was miserable. And I was just chasing something that wasn't never going to do any good for me, ever. So it feels good that, I'm actually doing something positive,
Absolutely.
Somebody also told me that if you bring negative vibes around you, you're only going to get negative outcome. If you have positive vibes, you're going to have a positive outcome. So that's what I try to do now, is just be a positive person. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. You're a true hero, bro. For real. True hero. And I'm not just...
I'm not a hero. It's just, you know what? I just look at it like this. If I saw somebody struggling out on the street, I'm gonna help them. If somebody's hurting out, I'm gonna do that. So it's like, it's real. I'm not a hero. I'm just doing what the world should be doing for everybody. So I'm not a hero. I'm an average person. It's just that people look at me as a hero. I'll take that. But in reality, if you see somebody out in the street and they're struggling, you're gonna help them. Same with these people. People are losing their houses. You're gonna help them, and you're not gonna question it. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's where the humbleness comes in. Like, it's like you look at it as like, if people are suffering, right? Like when I was out there doing crime, right? And I was stealing from people or taking people's things that they worked hard for, and they would wake up or their car's broken into, or something's taken and that hurt them, right? It's just the same way I look at it now. It's like whatever bad I did, I'm gonna try to do that much better for whatever, to cover up all the bad stuff that I did.
Absolutely.
So it's just
really
giving back to the community.
It's really full circle when you think about literally going from taking people's assets to protecting them.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to be humble, and you said you coming here humbled you, but
A lot.
I'm allowed to give you praise too, bro. So
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I appreciate
I
it.
look at you as a hero.
I appreciate it,
and
but-
I'm not going to change my wording.
No, it's cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it,
For
but
real.
it's just like, you just gotta keep it real. The problem with society now is there's too many people that'll turn the cheek. Like they see somebody hurting, right? Instead of saying, hey, do you need something? Like, they're gonna say, oh, that person's probably on drugs or out stealing and shit like that, And that's what's the problem with the society now, And it's like, instead of people helping each other, like they're destroying each other, They're destroying this whole world is destroying itself by, we're so busy with politics and all this stuff, the government and all this stuff, right? But in reality, it's like we're all killing each other little by little, So instead of killing each other, you just gotta, that's how I look at it when I was fighting these fires. It's like, hey, somebody's house is right there, their life savings or like their everything, Some people, like at the Eden Fire, when we were at the Eden Fire, it was like, I've never seen that was like the worst I've ever seen in my life. Like people's like, damn, like their whole life savings, like everything, just destroyed it in one day. That shit was sad. Like, people lost everything, and it's like, wow. So yeah, so it really did give me like the sense of appreciation of life, of what I got, to understand that, like, hey, that's not me, but it could have been me, In my house, the Lake Hughes fire almost went close to my house. Like where I live like towards Magic Mountain Parkway, like right there by Wayside. So I can relate to that, But yeah, it's a lot of people suffering, It's not just yeah, like it's not just us. It's like it's the world, you know. So a lot of people lost a lot of everything, you know. It was sad. Like we seen when we went to the Eden fire, there was this guy, and he just like, you know, he kind of made a joke out of it. He's like, oh, he's like, can you guys help us out? And he's all like, yeah. I was like, oh, is this your house? No, he's like, nope, that's my house. His house was like demolished, like burned. It's sad, you know. It's like everything like goes down with it, you know. So it is sad. It gives you a mind appreciate things that you have.
Absolutely, absolutely. Question for you: what do you want your legacy to be when you're done on this planet? What do you want people to remember about you?
My kids. My kids. I want to set my kids up good, you know. Like I want my kids to remember me. That's all I really care about. My kids. I want my legacy are my kids. That's my legacy. That's my biggest legacy. My kids. There's no greater legacy than that.
Absolutely. If you could send a message to your kids right now, like if you could say one thing to your kids right now, what would it be?
That I'm coming home soon. And that I love them. That's it.
Absolutely, man.
That's all I can give them.
Yeah. Well, I ain't gonna do too much, brother. I appreciate you taking the time, and I appreciate your service, man.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bro. Amazing.
Yep.